Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and I'm joined with Mario.
What's up, guys?
We're going to talk about X-Files Season 10, Episode 4, out of 6, by the way, so we'll get 2 left, which is weird, but the episode's called Home Again. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. And we've got a bit of a rotating cast on this review, because last week it was just me and Connor, but this week we've swapped out the ginger for the Mexican. Mario's here, so last week we thought, after sort of a rocky first 2 episodes, that episode 3 was the best of the bunch. Almost surprisingly, because it started off kind of weird, and then it got really fun and kind of surreal, and it went with
Meta.
it. Yeah. I have to say, I quite like this one as well, for the most part.
Yeah, it was a little preachy, but one, it worked. It was pretty effective in being a typical X-Files episode.
Yeah.
But it also had some strong emotional bits, especially if you've been, because Scully's mother, the actress that played her, has made appearances throughout the show.
Oh, the same actress. So she's played her mother before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So it kind of, and plus, you're tying into the kind of, which seems to be the thread for the whole series of this series, is the son that they gave up for adoption. So tying that into Lost and tying that into all things and what was going on with the Trash Man and how she kind of compares Trash to how the way they gave up their son and blah blah blah. But like I said, it was a little bit preachy.
Yeah, I mean, that connection's a little bit of a stretch, but I have to say that even though I've not seen all of the X-Files, I'm still I think 4 or 5 episodes away from finishing season 1, so certainly most of it I've not seen. Everything they're talking about I've not seen. I have to say, some of those emotional moments were still working for me quite well.
Well, they just did a really good job. I mean, I think splicing in footage of when Scully was in a coma and having Mulder kind of try to rally up for her, I think was a really good moment. Like, just even for people that like, obviously it helps if you saw it in the moment, but for anyone that hasn't seen it, it still helps to see that clearly this is them when they were younger.
Oh, yeah, because they look younger, and the cutaways, it's like really obvious it's like 10 years ago. But even just the little line that when Scully says, "Did we ever encounter anything in all those years about bringing someone back to life?"
Right.
And he's like, "Well, I kind of did it when I asked for you to come back."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's actually quite a sweet little moment." And after her mother actually dies, and she's like really upset, and the music was quite good in that scene as well. And then she's immediately like, "We need to work. Let's go do a case. I need to do something right now."
Right.
And then the final scene with her sort of explaining, why her mother was like asking for the son that kind of abandoned her, almost like was kind of separate and like detached, and it surprisingly worked quite well. I thought the connection to the whole "did we treat him like trash" thing, I thought was a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Because I mean, putting someone up for adoption is not the same as just being get rid of
him.
him.
And adoption when he's like manifesting powers and getting abducted and all this stuff is happening, where they're basically just trying to put him in hiding so he doesn't get involved in these crazy scenarios.
Yeah, the way she was talking, it was like a regular, let's put him up for adoption, like in life, not like
or like she left him at a fire station and just walked away. Like, you didn't throw him away, you went through the process.
Or in a basket at the front of a church, like the opening of Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
The classic film.
Hey, that movie came out the same year X-Files started, just to put that in perspective.
And I'm pretty sure X-Files is much better.
I'm pretty sure it is, yes. Even the worst episode of X-Files, I'm pretty sure
is better than that garbage truck.
That said, I'm sure X-Files has a couple of boring episodes where Super Mario Brothers, when you watch this now, that movie's not boring. It's a lot of things, but it's not boring. I'll say that for it.
Yep. But yeah, I like the what do they call him? The
Trash Man?
But the Band-Aid Nose Man or whatever the homeless guy called him.
Yeah, I liked him too. Actually, like, see right from the start when he just rips off like 2 arms in like one motion. I'm like, holy shit, he's like a super villain.
Yeah. Well, it was more of a boogeyman.
Yeah.
I like that idea, and that stuff at the end. Where they go into that warehouse and they go underneath, and that kid tells them like after this point, there's no more light. Like, I thought that was pretty creepy, and the way like those random creatures would disappear and appear.
I thought all of it was. I actually thought most of it was as a horror sort of movie kind of thing. I thought the scene where the woman goes to her house and he like appears and all on the close up of him smiling, which I thought was a bit maybe just going too far. The rest of it I thought was really cool. He had a really nice silhouette, and they kept using that to really good effect.
Yeah,
and I thought that was quite good. And I think the first 2 episodes of this miniseries kind of made me like, do I even want to watch still like 8+ seasons of the show? Like,
right.
You know, but
now it's hitting its stride.
Yeah, these last 2 have been like, okay, this is actually kind of why I want to watch the rest of it now, because I know there's a lot of other episodes throughout that are fun like this.
Yeah. And then I imagine they're going to try into the son in the last 2 episodes in some way, because clearly this episode was, I mean, as far as the overall plot was to get Scully motivated to try to find him again in some capacity.
Yeah, and them wanting to go and find their son's actually way more compelling than all the bullshit conspiracy from episode 1.
100%. It actually kind of reminds you a little bit of Han and Leia.
Huh.
Because they're older, and it just kind of just been around the block a few times, and they're looking for their son that may or may not have powers.
Yeah, so what you're saying, and I guess spoilers for Star Wars The Force Awakens, if you've somehow not seen it, even though it's February now. So what you're saying is that the son might be evil.
I don't know.
Could be.
We'll see.
I mean, what would he be now? He'd be, what, 15, something like that?
15, 16, something like that.
He's old enough to be an emo little shit. It's possible.
Especially if they somehow make him ginger.
Well, Scully's ginger.
That's
kinda.
true.
Yeah.
Manifests ginger powers.
Yeah.
Mulder was actually pretty funny in this. He kept digging at all the cops.
Yeah. Does he like support a team that's like rivals the one of the Philly teams or something? Because he kept making Philadelphia jokes.
It was more of a Philly thing. Like, he just doesn't like their attitude, because he kept pointing out how, I forget what he said, like in the very beginning, like, oh, I have some harsh questions for you. He's like, well, it wouldn't be Philadelphia. It wasn't any kind of harsh.
Yeah, and then he makes a dig about like, oh, we'll rule out all the basketball players here then because they can't make the rim or something like that. Oh, like, Jesus Christ.
It was good though. I think it worked pretty well. And it eased up the tension a bit.
Yeah. I think the only negative I really have for this episode is it being a little pushy with the metaphor, and you could argue that some elements of it are a little bit silly, but if you look past the silliness, it was actually really creepy. Yeah. And they did a really nice job with it. Yeah,
this is what made X-Files good. Like, this is exactly why you have this monster of the week situation, but it also somehow works to tie into the overall story of Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, I almost kind of wish with the first episode of this miniseries, if they weren't going to do some grand 6-episode that's conclude the entire like saga of the X-Files, I almost wish they just in 5 minutes got them reinstated for whatever bullshit reason, and then just had them go off and do a case. Or
if they had like an issue 0, like this is where you would want it. Here's issue 0 to sum up what happened. Here's actual episode 1 to get everybody else on board.
You could literally just have had them, the opening scene be them move back into the office of episode 1. It'd be like, I can't believe we're back. Opening title music, and then they have one line of dialogue. It's like, yeah.
Well, because some stuff happened, and we need to figure that out. All right, cool. Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's really, I mean, that's like at this point now, that's all it's going to be in your mind. Like, I really don't. It was just some random garbage that made them get back together and open up the X-Files.
Yeah, pretty much. One stylistic touch that I actually really liked is when they first turned on their flashlights, there was a shot where it made an X with the light. And it was clearly very intentional, because it looked very like the opening sort of logo kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that was pretty nice. I like that. So, no, it was good. You know what? Episodes 3 and 4, pretty damn good. And it's X-Files at its best. It's actually possibly the only example of a TV show I can think of where the standalone episodes are better than the overarching stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's always the other way around. Always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess this one's because it's grounded to just them being human. Like, it's just about Scully's family and their family.
Yeah, but even the horror stuff.
No, it was just as good. Yeah.
So, no.
Well, that's when it worked better. I mean, that's why the best episodes were always the ones about some kind of creature that had some kind of power, and it was manifestation of some kind of situation with humanity, like the trash or the sewers or this or that, or smoking or something like that just left a trace that was really creepy.
Yeah.
That wasn't just about like, oh, well, Area 51 and some files and some hacking and cell phones.
But that stuff, I guess, I don't know. They have to mix both of it, I guess. But this is the stuff that's working way better. So, yeah. So that's X-Files. It's kind of hitting its stride. It's kind of a shame that it's hitting its stride with 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, given that it works so well as a sort of freak of the week kind of thing, maybe that means that, you know, if this is getting really good ratings for Fox, maybe we get another miniseries next year.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably what they're trying to see, how much, you know, interest there is from the older crowd and then younger people. Because I'm sure people that are like 17 never watched X-Files.
Yeah, true. And obviously they might go back and binge it on Netflix now because it's there. Yeah. And you know, maybe this is how you get the cast sort of in for it. As you say, okay, it's not a full 22 episode season. You're not doing this 9 months out of the year. You're only doing it for a few months out of the year.
Right. Well, even if they did one, I wouldn't want a long season. If they did another one, max 12.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, that's just kind of current TV in general now. Is the whole 22 episode thing feels a little bit outdated.
Yeah.
But no, so that's X-Files episode 4. Looking forward to episode 5.